Record. We
Yes,
are.
it's
Oh wait,
done.
never mind. Looks like Icons of Vanity are actually not ready. So we have to wait one more second here for Troy to join back.
Okie dokie. Yeah, so my God, we actually hosted the team for not versus what are they called, Legion. Sorry, I'm so
Oh
bad
yeah,
with
yeah.
names. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. We were playing Legion, who was formerly Reflex versus Fortnite earlier,
hmm
and had an amazing game one. It was
Seriously,
intense as hell.
it
I
was
have to say that.
it was freaking awesome, man. We had like that game went back and forth and back and forth. We had like 3 or 4 intense Baron fights, which could never have been, we could never have imagined what the outcome would be. So it was overall really great gameplay from both teams, and it ended up being a tie in terms of they both have 2 matches behind them now. I mean 1 match behind them, and they will now. They have now. What did they do? They actually postponed the
Yeah.
actual match.
Unfortunately, one of the members from Legion was actually lagging out really bad, and it caused them to lose that game completely. So they have rescheduled for next weekend on Saturday at, I believe, 10 a.m. EST. I can actually check real quick again. But it will be casted as well. So yeah, Saturday at noon. So this coming Saturday at noon, we'll have it, and I believe it will be casted. So you guys should make sure to check that out. I believe that one starts off the day for the actual casting, which will be the semifinals.
Alrighty, we do have all the players here now. If you have any possibility, Buddy, you might want to get your microphone a bit closer to you so we get a bit more audio from you. That would be just brilliant.
Yeah,
so we're getting into the game. Mic. First ban is going to be Cassiopeia.
Actually, that's really interesting, man, because I Big Fat LP, I guess likes playing his TF. Maybe he's going to try to go for that, but and they're banning Janna as well, which has actually seen a lot more now since IEM, where everyone played Janna, it seemed, and she was such a huge factor in the game. And there's a targeted ban for Big Fat LP with that Twisted Fate. Yeah. I was expecting to see that one.
Yeah, and I do actually see a lot of, like some, especially in solo queue, you do see a lot of people never banning supports. Janna is just a very strong support overall, even though that shield got hit in the patch and it actually disappears now if you outdamage it, the buff of the AD actually disappears. It's still such a great support, and also depending on what setup you are about to run, Janna can completely shut that out if played correctly.
Yeah, Janna is just strong, period. The amount of the CC she provides, she has like 3 forms of it technically. She has that knockup from her Whirlwind, I'm playing a lot of Terra lately. Knockup from her Q, her Howling Gale, and then she has her slow from her W, and she has her ultimate, which you can use it really aggressively or defensively. Especially in lane, you can use it really aggressively if you can kind of flash in and separate the AD from their support and kind of maybe push one of the players into the tower. It can really do a lot of work. And actually, we're seeing a Shen ban, which I'm kind of happy to see, I guess. When CLG was playing an IM Kiev against, I believe it was Curse. I believe it was Curse. We had Hotshot actually playing Shen top with St. Vicious playing Udyr, and they actually did about like a 17-18 minute Baron with just 2 people. So yeah, it's a good thing to see Shen ban. I mean, in general, Shen is kind of really strong at the moment, and you really don't want to let Hotshot play that character, or he's just gonna demolish you, and you're gonna pay for it the entire game.
And again, targeting those ninjas, not only Shen but Kennen has been banned there as well, and we do see the first pick is an Udyr, and we are gonna see a Mundo maybe. Interesting.
Yeah,
I do like like Jungle Moon. There it is. It's locked in. Beautiful. That's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah, he's so quick in the jungle, with all the changes, and I mean he can provide really strong ganks because he keeps a permanent slow going. And not to mention, he hits extremely hard if he maxes Masochism first. And I'm kind of curious to see this Corku's actually running Heal Exhaust, so he has no form of escape except his Valkyrie.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what they pick here now. Would you agree on the fact that, because I just see Kennen banned a lot due to the fact that he is just a bit what's it called? It's hard to see where he's going. Like you never know if he's gonna end up mid, top, or even bottom AD. That might have a big factor of him being banned, or what do you say?
Yeah, he's such a strong counter to a lot of top lanes, at least in the current meta where you run like a bruiser AD champion up there, and since he's ranged and he provides an insane amount of damage, and when he gets his revolver, he's pretty much impossible to push out a lane. He's just too strong there, and they really have to take him out of the game. And not to mention middle, he's just as strong there, like with his ultimate, and if you can get farm off, it's really hard to counter him since he has that stun, that really amazing stun.
So we see a Kog'Maw locked in for double lift there. And these... wait for it. Nah, there it is. The Zona is gonna be locked in as well. Yeah, so surprisingly enough, not a Nunu, the good old OP comp that you could see bottom every now and again. The Nunu Kog'Maw really excels well, but yeah, it's gonna be. You do have a slow from Zona, so that is still good, and you do have some good poke and some good buffs, obviously, from those auras. But what do you think about that?
I'm really liking that so far. Kog'Maw is impossible to get to with this team already. With the Sona Crescendo, I mean, that alone will pretty much deny someone from getting to you. Not to mention Udyr with just how straight tank his character is, like just the way he's built. So Doublelift should be have a really easy job here and a really easy time of actually trying to do a lot of damage. And we'll actually see Tarek picked up from Icons of Vanity to maybe provide some way to stun and get some sort of initiator, or at least in lane to provide some kind of support for this Corki. Since Corki, actually Soraka Corki is a really strong lane as well, and so is Sona Corki. But I'm not really a huge fan of Tarek Corki. Tarek just falls off way too hard late game as a support. He provides a stun, that's pretty much it.
I wouldn't say that ultimate is too useless though, but I know what you're coming at here. I know what you mean. And I agree on that. But in lane, Tarek, that stun is it's a big annoyance, and it's a big like we mentioned in the last game. It's actually something that you usually base your gameplay upon. Like if you know if that stun is on cooldown, you can be aggressive against him, and vice versa. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep track on that bot lane. Meanwhile, we'll see a Tryndamere and a Morgana, not locked in yet, but still it's there. It's gonna be interesting. We also got a Lee Sin top, a Lop, or a Topsin, or do you have a good word for that?
No, I do not actually.
I don't think Lop works. That is just
I'm really
bad.
curious to see this Tryndamere pick against him though.
Yeah, that should be interesting. Let's see. Let's see if he locks it in.
I can tell it's so impossible for Tryndamere to get to a Lee Sin. I feel like with just a safeguard and a sonic wave, he can go in and out, and not to mention his attack speed slow that he has. And I don't know if Hotshot can get an early kill, maybe with the gank from Saint Vicious on Lee Sin, he can definitely dominate that lane, having his Wriggles if he decides to go for that over that Lee Sin. And actually, we see him running an Exhaust Ignite, so he's definitely going to go trying to go for a full out kind of like build against his Lee Sin and try to kill him really early.
Very aggressive. And I like that. You see too many passive top lanes these days. I like aggressive top laners. It's going to be interesting to see, and I'm looking forward to see that as well. But the thing about, like, what I'm thinking just generally now is Lee Sin with his mobility, dashing back and forth, that will kind of, if played correctly, that will kind of make Tryndamere's slow count for nothing, basically, because he can just, blink out of that, especially if that spinny thingy of Tryndamere is on cooldown. So
spinny thingy of doom.
It's called the spinny thingy. It's called the spinny thingy.
What do you think about this Anivia middle? I'm honestly not a big fan of it right now because of Morgana's Black Shield can completely just eliminate Anivia's stun and slow potentially.
Oh, in the last game, I'm just gonna say that since you brought it up. In the last game, we saw Legion playing Morgana against a very CC focused team. They had an Ashe against them. They had a what else was it in there? TF. A lot of single targeted stuns, and we saw Morgana with the Black Shield using it so perfectly, just going in and completely tanking. I think it was 3 focused CC stuns, and that was just completely beautiful. And like you're saying, yeah, it's gonna be hard for Anivia to get her CC off since that Black Shield, and it's a very slow projectile from Anivia as well. It's very easy to predict it and block it. And seeing as Mundo doesn't have that hard CC either. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I would probably enjoy playing Morgana against Anivia rather than the other way around, but that is also because of the fact that I'm not very good with Anivia. So
yeah, she's just really slow, and if you get caught off guard, I mean, all you have is really your wall to really protect you. I mean, you could get your stun, which is gonna be really quick, but you can really get caught off guard. But if they can kind of force fights in the jungle, where Nivea can kind of split up CLG, they can definitely win a team fight. Like that wall in the jungle is just so insane with what it provides you. So I don't know. I mean, if they can try to kind of force fights in that jungle, they can easily win.
I mean, that wall is like probably the most game-changing ability in the entire game. I'm just gonna say it straight out here. Like if you can wall off a target that doesn't have a flash up, that can just completely turn a team fight. And yeah, looking forward to see some of that going on in the jungle. In terms of junglers, we mentioned that Mundo very, very quick in the jungle. Udyr not too bad either. I mean, Udyr is also he can clear those creep camps. But what do you say? What do you think we are going to see?
Oh, what do you mean? Like in terms of jungling
In
speed
terms
or
of,
counter jungling?
yeah, in terms
Oh.
of how they will attack their own jungle or counter jungle. Like,
I
what would
believe.
you prefer doing?
Well, I believe Saints actually. I think he's going to be really aggressive. I think we're going to see some level one invading here out of both teams, and hopefully some early warding too from Chowster and Neelam to kind of prevent any sort of things like you ward your own blue and then invade the red kind of thing.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Saint just he has so many lanes he can gank. I mean, he has a slow from top lane against. Well, Lee Sin's a little hard to get to, but he still has a slow from top lane. He has a stun in middle and a bot lane. Once if you can waste that Taric stun, you can pretty much get in there and kill someone. And it's kind of interesting to see that Corky's not even running heals, so that kind of like makes it even more prone to being ganked by Udyr.
That is actually something that you're right. That is, okay then. I guess he's hoping for Kog'Maw to go with a heal as well, so he can just counter that completely. And they do have both heal and exhaust in that lane. However, he's gonna be unlucky enough to get a Kog'Maw with a cleanse against this team. So, gotta see how that turns out.
If IOV actually stacks their summoners on him, you can just cleanse that exhaust and ignite off, and you pretty much just wasted 2 summoners for nothing. I mean, 2 for 1, and the heal obviously would benefit you a lot more. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, they could potentially go for Sona early on and get a kill on her to get a nice stun with Corky's burst.
Yeah.
Since Cog is really weak pre-6, but I guess we'll see since the game is actually starting right now.
Yes, we're gonna go into it. So, which team is on which side here?
We have CLG is actually be on blue team here, and we have IOV on purple team.
Just making sure that my overlays are working correctly. Okay,
so favorite skin you see right now? Who's your favorite skin that you currently see?
Favorite skin, of course. I'm gonna take a look at them right now. Yeah, so it's a very tight battle right now. It's gonna be between Tryndamere and Anivia here, and
really,
yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it's Anivia. You see too few robotic skins.
That is true, and you see few too Anivias in general.
I guess you're right. But a lot of skins, and that is obviously good. I like that. I like the look of that.
Well, where do you think before this game starts, where the most action is going to be? Top lane, mid lane, or bot lane?
Ooh. It depends where the junglers show up, I guess. That is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we are going to see potent ganks from both junglers here. Both are competent enough to actually get boots as first item and pots to actually go for potential ganks. So it depends where they tend to turn their focus, I guess. But I am particularly interested in the top lane, actually, to see how that turns out.
Yeah, I really am curious too as well. That's a really good idea. And we actually see Taric, well, he's buying a pink ward early, so he really wants to kind of stop any wards that Chowster's going to put down. But Chowster as well picks up that pink ward, so there's going to be a little pink ward battle going on down there to see who can kind of take out the other pink first.
Yeah. Right now I'm just going to sort out the overlay a little bit, guys, and that is why I'm locking onto one of the characters. And just bear with me while I'll try to sort that out as best as I can.
All right, well, we have Icons of Vanity is actually in middle right now, and they will be pushing into bottom river, trying to see if CLG might invade their blue buff or whatnot. And Chowster actually does spot this Corky going down there. So CLG has an idea that IOV is sitting there in that bush, and they're kind of playing a little passive. We have Big Fat LP kind of sitting here at this little area, trying to see if they come up to invade anything. And now IOV is actually pushing out, trying to get that Sona. But actually, I'm kind of surprised there's actually not much invading. I mean, both teams are generally weak level 1, but I mean, you have CLG with a Morgana Dark Binding, and Bear Stance out of St. Vicious can really kill someone easily. But I guess teams just want to play it safe and get their own jungle and see what happens from there.
Feel free to keep your discussion with yourself going there, because I am just focusing on one thing here, and as you know, I'm not that great with multitasking.
Well, remember, we are borderline professional. That's our little phrase we always use when we stream together.
This is very true.
And looking at Mundo, he actually has Cloth Armor 5 pots, so he's potentially not going for an early gank, and he is starting out of Wolves and Blues, so we won't see like a level 2 out of him where he takes red buff and takes race and ganks top or something like that. So you just can play a little passive and go around there. And you see St. Vicious actually with boots, so we might actually see a gank out of him pretty early, because Udyr can clear the jungle and not really worry about his health too much. Like, he'll finish jungle with 75 to 80%, if not more health.
Yeah.
So he can easily, gank bottom after picking up that red, picking up double golems. This Mundo, he won't really be able to do anything to this Tryndamere, who can just spin away. Like, Hotshot shouldn't really be caught at the moment.
What he
at least
is
for a couple
doing
of
though
levels.
is sorry for interrupting you there, but what he is doing is going for saving that smite, I believe. Yeah, so he is gonna go for a counter jungling thing here, or a quick gank bottom first. He's definitely gonna bump into Odur if he goes for the counter jungle. He's gonna ping Zona and go around in. They do not have vision there yet, so it's gonna be. Yeah, they have no idea that he is there, and here he comes in, level 2, Sona is still level 1, that cleaver is gonna hit, do a nice slow, and that is gonna waste the flash. So, very successful early gank there from Mundo.
Yeah, very good job. I mean, anytime you can blow a summoner is really good, and he can always swing back around, potentially pick up that Sona, but she, she does have wards, so he needs to kind of count on his Taric to really kind of stop those. Unfortunately, he isn't able to actually see that ward going down, so he has to take like a wild guess at that pink ward to hopefully get it when it can come down. But he's actually going back to middle right here to attack Big Fat LP maybe and do some damage. But he's kind of really far behind with all these ganks.
Yeah.
He's level 2. He's going to be falling way behind St. Vicious, who will be level 4 pretty soon. He's about halfway right now. And now he's also leeching off middle lane too, putting that Anivia behind. So I don't know. I'm not really feeling what Mundo's doing right now. He kind of needs to focus on that jungle and then go for some ganks.
What he is doing right though is that when he went for the unsuccessful gank in mid, he did spam that laughter a couple of times, which is of course really important if you want to be a good successful Mundo. You need to troll around a little bit, you know. It's important.
Right, that's required for high elo. You have to spam laugh.
So obviously he's gonna go for his red right now. And it's actually going to make him go a little low HP here. But in terms of comparing the junglers right now, Udyr just dinged level 4. He just dinged level 3. Actually, he's halfway with that red buff. But yeah, he did use make Sona burn that flash. So I don't know. It's I'm not too sure if it was worth it. He's going to come in top here against Tryndamere, and we're going to see Safeguard towards him. That slow is going to hit. He is going to put some pressure on Tryndamere. Tryndamere is going to try and put that slow down. Didn't slow any of them because they were turned towards him, and yeah.
Well, Mundo generally is successful. He blew Chaucer's flash at bottom lane. He blew Hotshot GG's Ghost at top. I'm going to call him Sue, actually, for this entire game. But, I mean, all in all, even though he did get put a little bit behind, he did give advantages to his lanes a little bit. Lee Sin here is just, still farming. He's going to be ahead of Hotshot in XP quite a bit. And at bot lane, I mean, if they want to be a little aggressive on that Sona, knowing that she, does not have that flash up, they could potentially go for a kill, especially with how weak Kog'Maw is early on.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about. A bit of a more aggressive play towards Sona, and especially like you're saying now that she doesn't have flash. Although as you saw there, I don't know if you were paying attention to bot lane at that point, but Kog'Maw with Sona with the buffs and his cooldowns does actually deal significant damage still.
Right.
So yeah, it's not an easy task, but it's doable. Mundo extremely low in the jungle right now. He is going to recall after grabbing those wolves. Halfway towards level 5, whereas Udyr now going in for a bit of counter jungling is actually, he's actually also there. So Mundo has caught up with Udyr. So yeah, very successful, seeing as he blew those summoners.
And now we're seeing Saint actually come top lane right now to go for a gank on this Lee Sin, and the lane is really heavily pushed towards Hotshot, so Hotshot's going to start attacking him, try to burn him down a little bit, and Lee Sin's just trying to escape running away. He obviously does have flash up, so he will burn it right there and get away. Good job by Saint to actually blow that flash, and I wanted to point out in middle lane is that Big Fat LP is landing a lot of Dark Bindings on the Unholy Wish, and he's really chipping him down quite a bit. I mean, if you look at him right now, no health pots. Down to about 300 health in lane.
Meanwhile, bottom, we see some aggressive Kog'Maw using that cleanse to actually get away from the Taric stun. And here comes the cleaver. It's going to hit. He's going to see a flash there on Kog'Maw, but Sona is not going to survive this one because she doesn't have that flash, and the cleaver is going to hit her in the neck, and she is going to go down.
Great job by Mundo to come down there and pick that up. That was really well played by them.
Very good situational gank. He saw the opportunity that they were pushed up, and Taric went for being aggressive just at the right time. And now he's going to go to mid. Seeing as Morgana doesn't have vision there, we are going to see how this one plays out. Is that Black Shield? Yeah, that Black Shield, Dark Shield. Well, it's called Black or Dark Shield? It's called Black Shield. So many abilities in the game, man.
In the meantime, while Stu was actually in bot lane, St. Vicious was actually stealing his race. He took 3 of them out. Obviously the big one, and to kind of put Mundo a little bit behind. I mean, even though Mundo did get the first successful gank, Saint is actually pretty far ahead right now. I mean, he's about halfway to level 6, and his CS score is up to 36 CS compared to Mundo's 24. So, and it actually looks like we're going to see some GP5 out of Saint. Maybe going for Heart of Gold, get that money rolling in and try some ganks and build some more money. But yeah,
it's gonna be
Yup,
indeed, my friend. So in terms of bot lane. After that kill, Corki is on slightly lower CS, but we're looking at about a 10 CS different, although he does have that assist. So yeah, he's coming back strong with 2 Dorans and a Vampire Scepter. against 2 Dorans, but obviously Kog'Maw does have some sustain from Sona naturally, but yeah. So we'll see. It's still an even lane after that gank. Mundo is now pinging the blue, and we're probably going to see that.
Hotshot's being a little aggressive at the top lane against Tri-Dream, and just did a little bit of damage, but he's been super aggressive against this Lee Sin. He picked up his Ninja Tavis first to really mitigate a lot of Lee's damage, who has that cloth armor, which I'm assuming will be built into his Wriggles. We see some action at blue buff here, but you see Saint Flash on into Anivia. Gets really nice stun followed by a Dark Binding and an ultimate from Big LP, but Unholy Wish is kind of forced to use that flash to get away, and Saint and Big LP really want to kind of contest that blue buff. Unfortunately, they weren't able to steal it, but look how low Mundo is right now, and they blew a flash out of that Anivia, and she's super low right now, so it's really easy for Big LP to actually take out Unholy Wish for like the 2nd kill of the game.
Yeah, and most importantly, Mundo was forced to take that blue buff, because otherwise it would have gone to Morgana or Udyr, or something scary would have happened. So that is obviously going to be very nice, seeing as Morgana is now going to go ahead and pick up a very easy and uncontested blue, which Udyr right now is pummeling down low for her. So yeah, and Anivia obviously did have her passive there, but that was not going to save her, so a well-used flash there would not have been a good position.
Unfortunately for Unholy Wish, he wasn't able to buy his Catalyst on his back, so that is really going to hurt him in lane, especially with no blue buff. He does not have that regen he's going to need, and you see Big Fat OP with that blue buff is going to be pushing all day, harassing as much as possible, and potentially even ganking a lane now that he can push lane super quick with that blue buff, and go say, hey, what's up top lane, or hey, what's up bot lane.
Purple going down at bottom, clearing that ward. They want to try and get a ganking. Right now, Sona doesn't have any more wards to actually get vision of that, and seeing as they don't have vision, they could do some potential ganks. But Mundo is, however, in the top jungle, and I believe that they did use a CV there just before. So they know where he is, so they can still play a bit aggressive bottom and wait that out. And right now they are being a bit aggressive on that Corki. Kog'Maw's hitting a couple of nice ultimates there to get him a bit low, and he's going to chug through those pots.
Yeah, and if you actually take a look at map vision, I want to point out that the warding is a really good job by IOB to really hold down as much side as they can. Start action on bottom. Nice on a double who actually cleanses that exhaust, and Corki's trying to run away. Double might go down into that Taric and picks up that kill. And now Double is passive trying to go for that Corki, but will not be able to kill him. And Double just got a little too aggressive there, and IOB really took advantage of that. He kind of put himself in a really bad position and got hit by that Taric stun.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I've missed a bit of that action. I'm sorry about that, but yeah.
No
so well played there from both Corki and Taric, I guess. Mundo here lurking about in the mid. He really wants to try, I guess he really wants to try and do something against this Morgana, because right now she has such a big advantage here in the mid lane, since, yeah, Anivia's going to have trouble with her mana and with her health and everything. So, yeah, Morgana has good vision. She knows that he's there. She knows that ping goes down, seeing as she knows that he could potentially steal Wraiths here, and he knows it, so he's going to go back as well. A bit of a back and forth play going on here.
Yeah, and I was trying to point out before that actual fight happened, the ward coverage, really good job by IOB to actually pull down a lot of vision on the map. They really locked down.
Morgana could potentially be in trouble here, since Mundo is moving in double buffed against her. She does have this substantial level advantage though, so he's not going to seek that fight. He's going to dodge that Q very nicely. So
she
no
does
problem.
steal that raid.
Yeah.
Dark Binding.
Important, man, important.
Very true. And we see Hotshot playing really smart top against Tri-Dream. He notices when Lee Sin's Tempest is down, he actually goes in because he doesn't get hit by that Tempest and kind of really tries to harass at Lee Sin. And we see Mundo top lane. He is spotted though by Hotshot's wards, so he won't be able to get this gank off. And Hotshot's actually going to check it right here. And he's just checking it, with his Mocking Shout, because obviously if you're close enough to a champion, even if they're in the bushes, you can spot, or it will come up. Letting you know there is someone there. I
just want to point out that Morgana just went in, seeing as she knew that Mundo was top, she just went in way deep in the enemy jungle and grabbed those wolves. And all these little creep camps that you can get a hold of really matters. So very well played there.
And it looks like CLG is actually going to go for Dragon here, noticing that Mundo is top lane. Sue kind of out of position up there going for that gank. And they really want to pick up this first Dragon here to kind of get them back in the game in terms of, well, actually, they're pretty close. So I can't really say that. Then we see IOB actually coming up here, and Big Healthy running a really nice start going onto Altec. And it looks like CLG picks up that first Dragon, and now Savage taking some heavy damage from Holy Wish. Morgana going in there with her nice ultimate, ends up going to pick up that kill onto Taric.
Wow,
and Saint actually has his flash to get away, so he will survive. But Kog'Maw and Sona kind of sitting there all alone. It's really nice crescendo from Sona. And if anything, Icons of Vanity actually blew 3 flashes out of CLG, so actually it looks like they moved 4, even with Big Fat LPs being down. So they lost Dragon, but they did blow a lot of summoners, and they could potentially come around for some really nice ganks.
Yeah, but again, very, very well thought out. Like, they knew they were in a good position, seeing as they knew where Mundo were and everything, they were in a good position to do that, Drake, and just calmly flash away when they had to, in combination with Zona's Crescendo. That was just well played.
Right, right. And it looked like they actually wanted to go for a kill on someone there with that Crescendo, but they ended up having to flash away to kind of stay alive. And this Anivia finally does have her Catalyst, so she will be able to hold lane a little easier. And is actually building towards her tier right now for, you know, that late game mana build, since you do have to spend your ulti quite a bit. And it looks like she will be able to pick up her first blue of the game here.
And this is going to be nice for her to actually be able to utilize that against the Morgana. So if you just tune in, we got a couple of new viewers.
Mundo actually took it with his, I believe his Brain Agony took it. Wow, that is really unfortunate for Unholy Wish now. So that's the second blue buff of the game that she did not get.
Oh,
that
no.
That really hurts Unholy Wish in mid now.
Yeah, oh, I feel so sorry about that. Oh my god. So I was just about to say that if you just tuned in, we got a couple of new viewers. This is the ggClassics. We are watching CLG versus Icons of Vanity, and this is indeed the first game of best of 3 here. And yeah, so far we've seen some very nice moves from CLG. They've done some nice aggressive jungling, counter jungling, as Morgana is doing right here. But we've seen some good response from Icons of Vanity as well, abusing the strong bot lane that they got going on right now with Taric and Corki. Some aggression going on top here. We see Tryndamere going toe-to-toe against Lee Sin, one level above, level 10 versus level 9. And they are going to go back and heal up on those minions. It's just a classic top lane at this point.
Yeah, they both have that Rugel's Lantern, which pretty much gives them all the sustain they need to live. Like, they cannot really kill each other until another big item spot. Maybe if Hotshot picks up that BF Sword, or maybe picks up a Brutalizer or a Tri-Dream, tries to pick up some, a couple more Doran's Blades or something, you know, do some more damage, but nothing's really going to happen up there. It's kind of just a farm fest. I mean, Hotshot is getting him a little low right now, but, you know, at least he has that Regals, has some health pots, and won't be pushed out of lane, especially under tower. We could just auto-attack and, you know, use his W, use his Safeguard Iron Will to actually heal up even more.
Yeah. And that Black Shield is going to go down a bit too late. She's going to take a cleaver to the face, although her passive will definitely just heal that up straight away. She is going to go in there and try and steal some of those wraiths again. Is she going to manage? She does have vision. That pool goes down. She managed to grab one of them, so that is something. And
yeah.
Due to the fact that Morgana is constantly holding on to that blue buff right now, and Anivia isn't, I wouldn't be surprised if we could, if this aggression from Morgana is going to keep on going, and she's going to steal jungle, do ganks, and just really capitalize on the fact that she can push the lane extremely potently right now.
Yeah, exactly. And with Anivia not having that blue buff, I mean, she does have her tier, but it took a while to stack it. Not having that blue buff, she cannot push the lane as quick. I mean, if she does, she can easily, you know, go head-to-head with Big Fat LP in that, but it's kind of unfortunate. I really don't know how that Mundo stole it. I mean, it was obviously Burning Agony, but it was just really unfortunate. Mundo's actually coming in top lane here to go for a gank on Hotshot, and Sue coming in right behind with double buff. Does miss his cleaver, so Hotshot is running away with his ghost, does get exhausted, and he will spin away. He does have his ultimate as well, his Undying Rage, so it won't be a kill, and they didn't, unfortunately, blow any summoners onto, or actually, they blew one summoner, sorry, Ghost. And we see Big Fat LP actually coming in from mid lane here to go for a kill, or maybe a counter gank, since Mundo is extremely low. And it looks like she will, unfortunately, will not be able to hit that Dark Binding because of the minion block. But Mundo's, I mean, Sue's actually providing a lot of ganks. It's just she doesn't really have the lane comp to kind of get a kill. Like, there's no real stun.
Exactly.
Or a guaranteed stun except bot lane.
and the fact that the characters that he is trying to gank are characters with great escapes. Like, it's just very hard for him with just that slow to pull it off right now, I think.
Right, right. And let's take a look at CS a little bit. You see we have Big Fat LP in middle with 139 CS compared to Unholy Wish's 104 CS. Top lane, which has been pretty much just a farm fest, Hotshot with 128 CS compared to Try's 126. So Try is actually keeping up quite well, Trident. And also in bot lane, we see Double with actually 133 CS compared to Corki's 138. So now Altec is actually getting ahead of Double in CS when he was behind initially.
Yeah, and also the fact that he has 2 assists now. He's been doing a good job. They have been min-maxing that lane very well. And here comes Mundo for a gank. They do not have vision. This is going to be completely scary. So he's coming in. The exhaust go down. So Koma, I think we are going to see a dive here potentially. No, he's going to back off, knowing that the Crescendo was probably up. No, it wasn't actually. Well,
yeah, I think it was still down.
Rather safe than
actually,
sorry,
no,
I
it
guess.
must have went down from the lane. But one thing I want to point out is that if you notice these wards, they were both pink wards. There's a pink ward in the Tribush, pink ward in the river.
Yeah.
And that puts Tarek so far behind. He doesn't have his heart of gold yet. He does back with 700 gold, so he will be working towards it, I believe, or at least pick up some more wards. And Sona, I mean, doesn't have it yet, but does have that ruby crystal. But he's pink warding so often that's really putting him behind in his GP5, which is really going to hurt late game. You know, trying to get that Shurelya's or trying to get that Aegis or Iron Locket of the Solari. I mean,
yeah.
It's a good job by him, but they're just not able to capitalize on that vision they're taking away from CLG.
And here Mundo shows up in his jungle, and no, he was trying to go for that big wraith. He was hungering for it, but no. So Morgana again just capitalizing on the fact that she has been able to spam more. She's been able to land her skill shots on the Anivia, who's been forced to go back more often than she liked. And now they are pinging Baron here. CLG want to make a play. They have put down the purple ward. Excuse me. You know, English is
hard.
It's difficult, man. So yeah, nice binding there on Corki. That would probably be a cue to go in. Morgana does indeed use that shield on herself. Corki's going to try and get away with his Valkyrie there, and Morgana hits the last tick of it on Tarek. It's not going to be enough. Mundo extremely low, and that kill is going to be for Kog'Maw. And ooh, that dark binding just misses Corki there for another kill. So you know, they didn't grab the Drake here, but they grabbed the kill, and that's enough for them. They're going to back off, push the lanes up a little bit, and hopefully make another play. Meanwhile, let's see if third time is the charm. Yes, and then we get a hold of that blue buff finally.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed in that fight, if you were paying attention, but Unholy Wish came up and actually almost bursted down Saint Vicious. He got extremely low during that and had to back out as well. That was almost a kill. If maybe she had that blue buff, that second blue buff, she would have had a little more AP to kill him. But Saint, who actually needs to build that Wits End pretty soon. I mean, actually, no, he has it right now, so there we go. I'm about to say, you really need it pretty soon to kind of help with that, but Absolutely. He has it now, and he has that Chain Vest, which I'm assuming will build into a Randuin's really soon.
Yep. And Anivia must be feeling much more happy right now, since she can also push out the lane. So, I bet she's feeling a lot more comfortable right now, Oh god, I'm losing my ability to talk. Although, to be fair, it's like 3 AM here, or something like that. So,
them sweets.
Too strong. So right now...
And you've been extremely busy lately too, so...
Yeah, and I'm so glad that I actually turned out for this cast, though. I was thinking that I wouldn't have the energy to do it, but let's leave that and focus on this dragon fight. We see another purple going down to clear out that one, and yeah, this is not going to be contested by CLG, so very, very well done. Very...
Yes. CLG didn't have too much vision in terms of where that Lee Sin was. They really weren't 100% sure where he was. So, what's the point of engaging on a 4v5 for something as small as a dragon, which they've made really known lately that they don't really care about dragons. That's not really a big deal. That they don't want to potentially lose a game because of a fight like that.
Yep.
So they just kind of backed off, no idea where Lee Sin was, let Hotshot push that top lane, get that tower, and now Tri-Dream's kind of just, he's a little bit behind because of that.
Yeah, just a very classic move there. If you lose a Drake, and if you accept the fact that you are going to lose a Drake, grab the turret, and if you're able to do that, then it's K.
Yeah, you can eat oranges and it's K.
Yeah, or you can eat a turret or a minion.
That's very true.
A lot of wards there around the bottom lane. Tarek and Corki just doesn't want to get
check
that.
out top lane. Mundo actually coming in for like a walk around, and Hotshot actually gets the ignite onto him. I wanted to go for that kill, but Mundo was able to escape there. He kind of just came up, and I don't believe Tri-Dream actually really saw it coming, and I don't really think Su kind of expected that much damage from Hotshot. He got 1 or 2 crits there because he does have that seal.
That was extremely close on Mundo there.
Right.
Anivia and Morgana trading some blows there in the middle. Right now, Anivia, again, feeling quite confident since she can also spam away. Look, I also have skills that I can spam. It's probably what she's thinking right now.
Pretty much. And I want to point out that Mundo actually has an Aegis. So he's kind of going like a little bit supporty right there. Picking out that for extra resistance, extra health, extra damage to help out his team with that Lee Sin and Tarek.
Yep.
Lee Sin and Corki. And, we saw his last game. Maybe we'll see a Zeki's Herald this game as well, because there is a lot of AD out of Icons of Vanity. There is.
We'll see how much armor we get on the on CLG. Odur is actually coming in here to just grab this turret. Sorry, we're going to switch the subject a little bit, and they're going to push this one out. So I bet they're feeling quite confident right now that they want to get as much of an advantage as they can map-wise, and just push out whatever lane they can push out, and then just make plays right now. because I think that is just what they want to do. They are slightly ahead in gold. We see CLG on 29.6k versus Icon of Vanity on
check out mid lane. Morgana overextended, taking out those raids. Big LP just loves taking those. And he is forced to flash over that wall to stay alive on that 3-man gank. And you're talking about how gold's really even. It's kind of weird, is because they have the same amount of kills, the same amount of dragons, but CLG is like almost 4k ahead of them, just because of that CS and how big of a deal it really provides.
And it's just another level of mastering League of Legends. Personally, for me, when I play, getting those CS really at a point where you're satisfied is something that just completely. It's huge, basically. It takes new players a while to realize it, but CSing is a huge part of playing a successful game of League of Legends.
Right, you can't go over those. You really definitely need to focus on that. And as you see, we have Big LP with 199 compared to Unholy Wishes 162, and bot lane Corki still just really keeping up. Altec really doesn't want to let Double Up get too far ahead of him. Double Up 181 CS compared to Corki's 195. And I'm not too thrilled though with this Corki's build with this Triforce. It is a really nice item, but just that heavy amount of damage to do with an Infinity's Edge first is really amazing on Corki.
Yeah. And this is just something common. We see Mundo actually coming in here from side. He is going to hit that cleaver on common. That's going to be the cue. Nice spell shield from Morgana, blocking that Taric stun. And now Odir is actually pummeling around that Taric, and they are getting extremely low here. Don't want to get in turret range there. They are going to have to back off. That Dark Binding is just going to pass in between Corki and the bird there, and yeah, Corki back up. Yeah, it's the bird. The bird is the word. Now they're low on mana. They're gonna have to go back. That Q is not gonna hit. But yeah, did you see what a clutch spell shield that was?
Yeah, that was an amazing spell shield. Turk actually flashed in for that stun onto Kog'Maw, but wasn't able to get it. That was really well timed. And in the meantime, we see Hotshot pushing top lane, gets that second turret. And Chowster had a really amazing crescendo there. Got 4 people up Icon of Vanity. And we actually see it's actually going on near this blue buff here in Purple's jungle. And Mundo eating that Dark Binding. But yeah, Chowster's crescendo was amazing. Landed on 4 people. It really shut them down because they had the advantage. Like, they were pushing into him. They had tons of CC. They had really nice slows. And Mundo is tanky enough to kind of dive a little bit. But it was a really good disengage by Chowster to kind of, save his other members of his team.
Yeah. Again, like you touched on it a bit before, the team fight erupted there in mid, that Corki is building a Trinity Force here. And while I do see the strength of doing that on a Corki, I mean, it's a very popular build on Corki, you do lack a bit of mid to late game damage with it. Like, that is just the way I feel. And in terms of Kog'Maw's Infinity Edge and Zeal, obviously Kog'Maw is slightly ahead now. With 1 more kill, but that is just going to do way more damage overall.
Yeah, the Trinity Force has a lot of burst. It gives you a high amount of burst, but the thing is, it doesn't give you a lot of sustained damage. And Infinity's Edge will hands down give you more damage over time than a Triforce. And these fights are going to last decently long just because the amount of CC and healing both teams have. So I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of that Triforce, but he might be building towards that Bloodthirster or IE next. So I guess we'll see as the game goes on, but if CLG kind of makes a move here, they could potentially, make it so Altec can't even get that Infinity's Edge or build more damage if they kind of, start forcing some team fights. Yeah.
Meanwhile, up top, they are just, hitting each other in the face and standing still. That's basically what they're doing right now. Going back to farming minions, but yeah. So Trinimir has been pushing this lane 24/7. Odir here getting caught in the jungle. Is he gonna be okay? Yeah, he's gonna be okay. Yeah, so he's just been pushing like crazy, and he's level 17 right now, while Odir just in level 16. So he's got nice level advantages as well, and he can obviously also contest every single part of that top jungle since he is very farmed. He has a lot of escapes, and right now we are going to see a Drake go down. We're going to going in with Soul Shackles here. A nice wall from Anivia there is going to be safe, and again, that's what we mentioned before. Walls can really save and break and make team fights. Anivia chasing down Morgana while CLG is trying to get this Drake. No, they are going to be pushed away here by Icons of Vanity. That Lee Sin kick is going to make sure that they secure it. And that is going to be a Drake for them, actually. Good job. But meanwhile, top, we see Trinimir just pushing away and just working on the inner turret right now. That's quite insane, actually.
Yeah, I really want to point that out, is that, I mean, they're letting Hotshot just completely have free reign over top lane. They are not punishing him for how far ahead he's pushed. I mean, he still has his first tower up. And they're not really doing much to do that. It's like really stop him, and it's going to show in late game. And we actually see some action going here. Double Lift actually getting taken out by Sue here, and Saintfish is kind of stuck with that wall, as we were saying, just how strong that wall is, and he's chasing around David, trying to hopefully go for a kill, but of course she does have her passive, her A will save her if she did go down. So now we see Icons of Vanity getting getting 3 kills there, and Dragon, so they're starting to catch up in money now.
They are, however, the thing is, they are winning the fights right now around the southern parts of the jungle, but that is also due to the fact that they've been 4v5 in those team fights. And while they've been winning that and gaining gold from that, Hotshot has been taking turrets up top and getting farmed, and when he joins the fray, which he, you know, inevitably will, that is going to be a major trouble for them.
Not to mention, he just got his Infinity's Edge too, and is finishing off his Phantom Dancer. He's gonna hurt so bad on everyone for Icons of Vanity. No one actually has armor on their team yet, so it's really gonna be hurting here. And it looks like Lee Sin, Tri-Jam will actually be building towards his Atlas pretty soon. He does have his Frozen Mallet, which is a really nice tanking item for him, and it can potentially, you know, help his team out by the slows he can do. But it's just, I mean, he has pretty much no damage now. He's forced to go tanky because of how much Hotshot's been pushing. And I'm just ready to see Tryndamere just roll in there and start like 2-3 shotting people just because of how farmed he is. 248 CS, 28 minutes into the game compared to Tri-Dream's 238.
That's a lot of gold. And yeah, Corki is going for a BF sword based item right now. I don't know what we'll see. Ideally, you would want to grab an Infinity here. Sona's going to go with her Oracle and clear the wards at the Baron. Again, making plays, constantly making plays. It's very, very, very well played and a very thought out process that once you get one single bit of advantage, capitalize on it. Once we get some advantage out of that, capitalize on that, and just keep going like that. That's what we've been seeing in this game. And they are going to get caught here, however. Sona, will that Oracle go down? The spell shield goes down from Morgana, but that wall, what a beautiful wall indeed. Going to force 3 or 4 flashes. Was it 3 flashes there?
Yeah, 2 flashes. On that one.
Okay, I'm getting more excited than I should, but still,
and
very,
look at
very
top
well
lane.
placed.
In the meantime, Hotshot just pushing that lane again. We had 5 people in the middle. Hotshot just pushing that lane, getting that inhibitor here.
Yep.
And it's affecting Icons. They cannot. Pretty much Hotshot's acting like a Singe, where he can just push lane and he's impossible to kill. And he's actually going head to head against this Lee Sin and getting him extremely low and potentially might get this kill here. But Lee Sin does kick him back. Hotshot does get that kill with the Ignite. In the meantime, the rest of his team is picking up Baron. So Icon of Vanity is not in a good position right now.
It's unfortunate. They are going to push out mid. I guess they're seeing that top is off, but they are going to have to recall right now because, yeah, Tryndamere is pumping onto the inner turrets right now and just left uncontested here. I don't really know what Icons of Vanity are thinking. He's just going to go for the second turret here. Potentially we are going to see a win here from CLG.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get that second tower down before he gets forced out of here, and that really gives the rest of his team the advantage. I mean, they're pushed down middle to meet up with them. They got that first tower, now they're going to open that second tower, and Hotshot's just walking away, you know. And we actually see a failed surrender vote out of Icons of Vanity here.
Actually, I have my chat box out of view, but yeah, that's good to know. They are now pushing the mid as well. Meanwhile, Tryndamere is top. What do you know? And yeah, so it's been very, very solid gameplay from CLG in this game. I think we've seen some good and interesting plays from, actually, Tryndamere is going to get completely focused right now. The Endless Race is going to be up. He's going to whirlwind towards that Nivea, but it's not going to be enough. But meanwhile, the rest of his team are getting the inhibitors, so I think he's happy with that. But now they are going to move in. Exhaust is going to go down on Odir. There comes the ultimate from Tyric. Morgana goes in with Soul Shackles, follow that up with a Crescendo from Sona, and that is going to take, and that is going to be a lot of damage. Kog'Maw is now also pummeling along, and he's going to get dropped by Lee Sin, but going in with his passive to do some extra damage, and now it's going to be interesting to see who comes out ahead of this team fight. Odir is very low, and there comes the kill. Morgana is picking that one up, and now they're going to try to... Oh, that failed flash, that's unfortunate. But there's the Dark Binding and the Spell Shield. Is it going to be enough? And Sonya's even a bit of an overkill. Let's see if they can burst down this egg. Will they do it in time? Yes, there it is. Well played.
And one thing I really put on that team fight was Tri-Dream did an amazing job focusing Double Up down. He kind of stuck to him and really forced him out of the fight, and that really helped. But then again, it was a 4v5 again for CLG. I mean, they were still holding their own, and they took out 3 people for losing 2. So I mean, Icons of Vanity, they're not winning those team fights. They're not strong enough yet. I mean, Hotshot hasn't even been in a team fight yet, and yet these fights are still that close and still in favor of CLG.
I just have a feeling that he's taking some sort of personal pride right now to not be in the team fights. It's like, I'm gonna keep a nice distance from the rest of you and just, you know, soak up 5 people's damage, no problem. But yeah, it's been like, before that team fight, I was about to say that we've basically seen a very, very solid, solid gameplay from CLG in this game. Not really any huge mistakes, and I can't really see any huge mistakes on Icons of Vanity's part either. But again, that top lane has just been too devastating for them that it was not able to. They were not able to stop it, basically.
Yeah, it's really, really curious how CLG's been able to take them on 4-on-5. I mean, they do have quite a big gold lead, up to about 9,000 right now. But in terms of CS of people who are fighting in team fights, there isn't much of a difference. Like, you know, St. Vicious does have about 50 CS more than Sue, but that's about it. And it's just showing, you know, experience as a team. You know, the more you play together, the better you can do, because you'll have so much more coordination, and it's really showing this game.
Tarek and Corky trying to get to Tryndamere there, but he's just gonna go back, excuse me, and meanwhile they are pushing bottom, and they're just gonna try and let Lee Sin deal with that Tryndamere, but that is not gonna be possible. Last time that happened, he died a horrible death.
He met his demise pretty much, and
yes.
Shot and Tridream just going head to head, and Tridream's the loser of this battle. He's backing out, and Hasha's still pushing. I mean, he's at the Nexus, attacking the Nexus, and Icons of Vanity is still at their inhibitor tower. They really need to go help right here, because he can potentially take it out, and it does draw off 2 members of Icon of Vanity, and Hasha is going for a Holy Wish here against the Anivia, but Arunas welcome her, and now he's going head to head against this Mundo, and it is 5v1 right there. Unfortunately, he does die, but the rest of CLG does pick up that tower, and they will pick up his 3rd inhibitor as well, and Arunas can shut up from Sona to pick up that Corky, and now it's Shriz from Chelsea as well, and St. Vicious is going to town on that Tarek, get Arunas done. Tridream trying to go for that Kog'Maw all by himself, and he's kind of seeing himself all time. Yeah, anyways. And nice ulti from Big Fat LP to really lock down that Lee Sin and that Mundo. So that is the first game in the best of 3 for CLG, and the best of 16 for ggClassic.
Absolutely, well played there from both teams. I must say that I did like the early aggression that we saw from Mundo. I like that high-risk type of attitude that he had. Unfortunately, I think that the top lane, in this case, really... well, let's not forget mid as well, though. Like, Morgana with that blue buff and Wasanivia didn't have it, was just too devastating. Not only was Morgana able to capitalize and go and steal jungle, steal farm, but she was also able to, in terms of the spamming of her abilities, just completely out-farm Anivia due to the fact that you can't really last hit well with an Anivia at the turret if you don't have the blue buff. So, yeah. What do you think?
Exactly. Have you actually been able to join this game? Because sorry, the next lobby is up at the moment.
Alrighty.
As I crack my knuckles. But in the meantime, I mean, we can talk about ggClassic.
We shall in a little while. I'm just going to put up some ads. We are going to talk a little bit about that. And we are back. We are just about to head into the second game, CLG versus Icons of Vanity. And this is, of course, ggClassic. And what type of event is that? I love you.
It is a, I believe, 32-team tournament with a $5,000 prize pool. And I believe that $5,000 prize pool is actually sponsored by Stack Exchange, who's kind of really sponsoring this tournament. And It's actually a really cool site they have. It's gaming.stackexchange.com, and they actually have been giving away a lot of prizes lately. And we are going to see, wow, stream is really loud with the ads. And we actually are going to see a video card given away, and as well as 3,500 riot points, I believe, by the end of this weekend. And actually, ooh, I would like a video card.
Yes.
And to actually enter into that, all you need to do is register on their website. And again, that's gaming.stackexchange.com. And you need to put ggClassic in your profile, and that will automatically enter you for that. And they will be emailing you to let you know if you want to, and all that good stuff. But yeah, there's some really cool forums over there. They have a really neat section about questions like what would happen if Ari charmed Master Yi when he was, Highlandering, and people kind of respond to that. It's kind of like an answers Yahoo kind of thing, and it's actually really neat, really cool, and there's a lot of participation from the community. So definitely check that out. And it looks like, sorry, in the meantime, we are going to be starting the second game.
Yes, and the casters, that is us, and my name is Bazzy, and your name is But I Love You. And you have a pretty neat YouTube page that I'm going to plug a bit for you right now. It's a YouTube page that, okay, I'm plugging away, that consists of mostly cool videos, like riffs, myths. I can't say that. Riffs, myths. There's too many thuths in it. But it's a really cool one where you actually take up some interesting topics and you try them out in game. For instance, that question that you actually asked there, what would happen if a Highlander Master Yi get hit by the charm and stuff like that, and you try it out and confirm it or bust it. Also, you do have some very nice old in 10 episodes, which is basically where you interview a professional player about their role, and personally I learned a lot from those, so make sure you check those out, guys. It's But I Love You on YouTube.
And you can't really get away from this without saying anything about your channel. Okay,
this is not at all planned out, by the way. This is just spontaneous, right?
Exactly. And it's youtube.com/spazzy with a 4 as the A. And you guys gotta check this site out, this channel out, because there's some hilarious stuff. He has some really good guides. He has, let's see, we have Vayne, Ziggs, Nautilus, and Ezreal up right now. He has some really funny epic moments videos as well. And I think you're really well known for the dubstep acapella, correct? Like that's one of your most known videos.
Known or infamous?
Infamous. Yeah. And he also did a cipher, if you guys have been paying attention to that, it's been going around the YouTube League of Legends community. So definitely check it out. Some hilarious stuff. I wish someone would play Ezreal this game so you could say banana every time he ulties. But go check out that if you don't understand what that means, and you will laugh. I can guarantee that.
Well, thanks for that. Let's take a look at the bans a little bit. We see Rise, Cassiopeia, and Twisted Fate from Icons and Vanity's part, and we see Shen, Janna, and Morgana from CLG. Initial thoughts there?
It looks like St. Fish just wants to, I mean, this sounds kind of bad, but wants to show Sue how to jungle Mundo properly. I don't know, because I felt like that's, because they both traded junglers, so it's like, hey, that's what St. Fish is just doing here. I'm going to try him and see how it works for this team. And then St. Fish is like, hey, he's playing Nadir, so I'm going to play Mundo. I'm gonna play what he played last game, kind of thing.
Yeah, so let's see if we can pull it off. And Nidalee, okay. Squeaky voice.
I think it's pretty obvious who's going to be playing that Nidalee.
Let's not say anything yet, though. Anything can happen. There's one player that is quite known for his Nidalee, but let's see who picks it up.
And it's Spazzy. Who would have guessed?
Exactly, Mundo. Actually, I am horrible with Nidalee. Honestly, I did hit a spear once. It was not a kill, but I did hit it once. It was a glorious moment.
Was there like music coming down from the heavens?
Yeah, in my mind, definitely. And but in real, it was just probably a bit of an awkward silence while I'll gasp for breath and all that awkward stuff.
I was expecting all your friends around you being like, "Oh my God, he hit his first spear!" and like a slow motion clapping and cheering kind of thing. That's what I pictured.
Correct. So we see Soraka probably. Yep, that's gonna be locked in. And Riven, strong top laner.
Yeah, definitely strong top laner. They definitely kind of want to counter. I can't say his name, but let's counter that Nidalee top with that Riven. And that's Soraka, who, I mean, they recently changed her. Now she can't get mana to herself, they're infused, but she gets a lot more mana now to the AD carries. So a lot of mana hungry AD carries like Severe, Grace, Corki are really good pairs for her, and they did really well last game as Terra Corki. So I'm kind of curious to see if they can bring it this game and and maybe you know, mid lane, maybe they can work out their blue buff giving a little bit, and maybe not let Nidalee, I'm not gonna say who it is, actually not let Hotshot push top lane like he did all game last time.
Yeah. So okay, Corki Alistar, yeah, interesting. Again, picking two of the characters, no is going to be switched to Sona there. Okay, fair enough. We do see them actually grabbing mirror picks here from the last game. I don't know if there's a greater meaning to that or if it's just the way it turns out right now. But yeah. Ooh, Graves for bottom. Okay then.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Graves. He's just so much fun. I mean, he does so much damage even after all these nerfs. And his kit is just it's always fun to play with. It's always really fun to like smoke screen someone in the face and kind of escape. And it's I don't know. He became my favorite AD carry over Ashe, even though she was my favorite for the longest time.
Mm-hmm. What I feel with Graves is that he's very, very fail-safe. Because his skill shots are not that difficult to hit. And when you do hit them, you do tons of damage. So I think that, yeah, that's one of the reasons that I also ended up playing him a lot when he came out. Like, generally, I would play 99% of my games with Graves. But, you know, right now I'm trying to vary it up, I guess. And we see another Anivia. I guess they want to...
Let's give it another try.
Yep. I like that. I like A for effort, definitely. Let's hope it works out a bit better, especially with that blue buff. That was just so unfortunate.
Yeah, that really was. That really set Unholy Wish really far behind in lane. And we're going to see what Big Fat LP's going to be playing here in middle, as Hotshot will be picking his champion for him. And what are you hoping to see out of Big Fat LP?
Honestly, I have no idea. I would probably like to see something a bit unconventional. Probably a mid-talon.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I would enjoy that as well.
Are you sure? I mean, yeah, I think we see... Ooh! Alrighty. Let's hope he locks it in. I love Urgot, man.
There's like no magic damage, though, from CLG, so if they're going to win this game, they got to, you know, kind of do it early on by really taking that early game and snowballing the rest of the game.
Actually, you're right. There's they will be lacking a lot of magic damage. Obviously, Hotshot GG is going to deal some with his Cougar form. Does that spear deal magic? I guess it does.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Heavy magic damage.
But without that, and that is actually a very situational spell, they don't have that much magic damage. So we're probably going to see some armor, some quick armor coming from Riven and Odir, and maybe even Graves, in as maybe third item or something like that.
Was it just me, or were you like really hoping that Chaucer would play support Mundo?
Wow, that would be so nice. That would be. I mean, not only would we see support Mundo, but jungling Sona. That is probably what, you know, would be derpic.
And if we look at summoners right now, we see Altec actually taking heal this time instead of that ignite, and vice versa. Double Up is taking that ignite. So, you know, that ignite will really do work against Altec and Nylum because of the amount of healing they can do in lane. And I'm really curious to see how well Urgot works out mid lane. So I remember watching that Kiev, and unfortunately it didn't work out too well for them in their first game. But I'm sure they tweaked it and are ready to show it off again.
Yep. In the meantime, you're going to have to talk. I need to just refill my water.
Oh, well, now you were just a jerk.
Be right back.
All right, again, for everyone watching, this is the second match out of the best of 3 between CLG and Icons of Vanity. This is for the ggClassic tournament, and this is the round of 16. This, I believe, is actually the last game of today, and we had one more match that actually is going to be played this coming Saturday at noon, and I believe that's EST, Eastern Standard Time. That's due to the having to reschedule it just because someone was lagging out between Fortnite and Legion, who was formerly Reflex. And Spazin actually canceled that game earlier, and it was an amazing game, the first one, and we hope to see it be just as amazing for the third game. Unfortunately, Legion's jungler was actually lagging out really bad, so Fortnite was really nice, postponed the match, and that will be Saturday. And then we will have the semifinals next week. The winner of this game, you know, will obviously be moving on, and I'm trying to pull up the actual bracket real quick just to tell you who else has moved on this week, and it sounds like Spaz is back in the meantime. So
absolutely. What are you talking about?
I was actually talking about the brackets, and whoever wins this game, who do they move on to play against?
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like actually JPack won today over. Actually, no, sorry, JPack won over V8 today, and so they're playing Dignitas in the semifinals. Curse versus Just Your Average Joes has not been played yet, I believe, but they will be playing against TSM for the semifinals. And of course, Reflex and Fortnite, that game is postponed to next Saturday. But the winner of that game will play MTW, who was formerly Goose, in the semifinals. And then the winner of this game will play the winner of Epic and DB Gaming. And as we all know, Epic had a pretty big roster change lately. And I'm curious to see how well they do in this tournament, if they can kind of bring it and, really shrug off, Dyrus leaving and I believe Dan leaving as well, going to Fortnite. So I'm really curious to see how well they do. And each match is going to be that much more exciting and that much more fun to watch. So I hope you guys keep checking out every Saturday and Sunday. That's my little spiel.
And